And today I'm making Christmas wreath cookies. Really, they're more like Rice Krispie treats. But I start out by melting a stick of butter into a pot on low heat. Then I add a bag of 16 ounces of mini marshmallows. And I measure out 6 cups of a cornflake cereal instead of Rice Krispie treats. Once the butter is completely melted, then you add the bag of marshmallows. It takes a little while to get the marshmallows to melt on the low heat, but if you keep it a low heat, you will not burn it, so it's worth it. Plus, you need to stay right here and continue to stir it, because if it sticks in a spot, then that spot will burn, and we don't want any burned marshmallows. After all the marshmallows are melted, then you add green food coloring and stir it in.
Next step will be to add the 6 cups of cornflakes.
Once they're completely coated, I take them off the burner in the heat, and then I take a scoop out at a time and put it on my parchment paper or wax paper, a little pile of it. And then all you have to do is sort of section out a hole in the middle. Try and make it look like a Christmas wreath. They don't have to be perfect, just circular with a hole in the middle. There we go. Then once they cool, you can embellish them. I have these little sprinkles that I got from the baking section that are balls and candy canes, and then I just use a cookie icing and draw a little bow. And the way I do that is I start at the bottom of the bow and make another loop over on this side. There we go, how festive.
Once the wreath cookies were finished, I cut the wax paper they sat on so they wouldn't stick to each other, and I put them all in Ziploc bags to keep them fresh while I worked on other cookies. The next cookie I tackled were peanut butter cookies. I take a normal peanut butter cookie recipe, make them into balls, roll them in granulated sugar, stick a Hershey Kiss in the middle, and then bake them at 350 for 8 minutes. I love using my favorite Christmas cookie cutters. I baked sugar cookies and put them in Ziploc bags to save for decorating later. And of course, the gingerbread cookie cutter was saved for my gingerbread men. I tried putting some chocolate dots on the cookie before I baked them, but they seemed to just melt into the cookie. So most of them I just baked plain, and we'll put the eyes and buttons on later. Some of them I tried a different idea of folding their arms in so I could have them hold something like a piece of candy or a candy cane. I saw it in a magazine, but it didn't work out. Their arms just mushed into their body. I saw these also in a magazine and they looked delicious, and I'm so happy with how they turned out. I just took some walnuts and cut them up finely, put them in a pan, melted some caramel and drizzled it in a circle, melted some chocolate chips, drizzled them on the top, and refrigerated it When it cooled and I picked them up, the nuts were stuck to the bottom of the caramel, and they were delicious. Now, this was a failed attempt to make some fudge, but that doesn't mean it has to be a complete failure. I used the fudge that was too soft to make a fudge bar. I rolled it in the leftover walnuts that were chopped up. And then I melted some chocolate and rolled it in the chocolate, put it in the freezer, and ended up with these delicious treats. Sort of a no-bake cookie. Confectionaries are so cool nowadays, from little carrot nosies for my snowmen to stars for the top of my trees. I had a lot of fun decorating all of my cookies this year, especially with some help from my grandbaby Layla.
I'll put them on a cookie. Look at you decorating your very first cookie. What a good job. There you go. There's some more.
After I got all the cookies decorated, I put them all in Ziploc bags and then into little white boxes, put some ribbons on them, and delivered them to our mailman and our garbage man and some people at the office, and spread a little bit of Christmas cheer.